Evening, Governor Fubara, FCT Minister, Ogoni leaders meet President Tinubu. NNPC gives reason for Buguma oil spill fire incident. Chairman, Maritime Union blames colleagues for Bonny boat mishap. Port Harcourt residents condemn telecom tariff hike. On the foreign scene, fire kills 66 persons in Turkish ski resort. I am Kala Dakuru Batbor. Mental health is real. Seek help. End the stigma. Leaders in the delegation include Lee Meba, Magnus Abe, Olaka Wogu, Victor Gyadom, Kenneth Kobani, Pius Key, Ledum Mite, as well as Beneth Birabi, Barry Mpigi, and Joe Poruma. It is believed that the meeting is convened. It is believed that the meeting was convened to discuss the Ogoni cleanup and the resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni land. Also present at the meeting was the Group Managing Director of the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, the Minister of Environment, Bala Rabe Abba, Minister of Information, Idris Mohammed, Minister of Regional Development, Abubakar Momo, and the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. Moving on, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, says the fire incident at the Buguma oil spill in Degema local government area of Rivers State was caused by pipeline vandals. The spokesperson of the NNPC Limited, Olufemi Soneye, in a statement said the fire was caused by the activities of vandals who were attempting to compromise the Christmas tree and steal crude oil. He said the company is working closely with relevant security agencies to put an end to the acts of vandalism. Meanwhile, the state chairman of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, Israel Waribo, said boat mishap which killed toddler 2 orders could have been avoided if the Bonny unit of the union had relayed weather updates to the port unit to enable them halt operations. Mr. Waribo Pepple said this during an interview with correspondent Emeka Otuka. He called for improved coordination to ensure safety across all units.
This particular incident has occurred from the Bonny end. They did not pass information to the Port Harcourt end by shutting down the boat, because ordinarily when the weather is coming, they normally circulate information to stop business for that moment. So I think the cause of that is storm. From the information I gathered, the Bonny end stopped loading when they saw the storm, but they did not communicate on time to stop the Port Harcourt end. There was a communication gap there.
Mr. Waribo Pepple also advised boat drivers to be cautious of the weather conditions and strictly adhere to safety rules.
We have always advised them when they are going. If you are driving, if you're a good driver, when you are driving, when you see the weather, you will know when you are approaching storm. So the best thing to do is for you to look for a nearby creek or somewhere and go there and try the storm to pass. Because the storm doesn't hide itself. It shows even in the water. You don't need to go and enter into the storm. That is just a mistake from the driver too. Ordinarily would have seen it and maybe gone into the creek for cover. There are others that saw it and they run into the creek and they are safe today.
He said the union will soon launch a sensitization campaign for boat drivers to promote safety on the waterways. In other news, the Rivers State Ministry of Agriculture has confirmed an outbreak of highly pathogenic avian influenza, commonly known as bird flu, at a 3,000 capacity poultry farm in Irebe, Obiakpo local government area. In a statement by the Commissioner of Agriculture, Victor Key, the ministry said it has quarantined the affected farm, depopulated infected beds, and decontaminated the premises. The commissioner said the veterinary items are conducting extensive surveillance in surrounding areas to prevent photo spread. He also urged poultry farmers and the public to report any unusual symptoms in birds, such as sudden death, reduced egg production, or respiratory distress. The ministry expressed its commitment to safeguard the health of the poultry industry and the public, adding that the impact of the outbreak can be reduced if all stakeholders work in synergy. The statement urged the public to report concerns to the ministry through 014-263-1325 or reach them on Instagram at RS Ministry of Agriculture and Facebook at Rivers State Ministry of Agriculture. We'll go for a commercial break, but still to come, Port Harcourt residents condemn telecom tariff hike. Please do stay tuned. Thank you for staying tuned. Welcome back now to the rest of the newscast. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has denied reports that the operation which led to the death of one of its officers in Anambra was carried out illegally. Speaking in an exclusive interview with correspondent Solomon Idahi, spokesperson of the commission, Dele Oyewale, said an arrest warrant was issued for the suspect in line with the EFCC's operational protocol. He added that the operation was also carried out in the early hours of the morning, contrary to reports that it took place in the middle of the night.
In the normal tradition of law enforcement and in line with our operational protocol, they went there to make an arrest. And in that particular building, it's a two-story building in Oka, Anambra State. 37 suspects had already been arrested before they got to the apartment of Ikechukwu. And Ikechukwu saw them. He confessed that he saw them. He cited them even through his CCTV, the CCTV camera that was mounted on his doorpost. So he saw them and he decided to open fire on them.
Meanwhile, a security expert, Promise Dapwa, says the law empowers the FCC to make some arrests without a warrant. Mr. Dakpa, a retired naval commodore, said this while reacting to the controversy surrounding the killing of an EFCC operative while attempting to arrest a suspected fraudster in Anambra State.
For EFCC specifically, EFCC is empowered by their act. The law empowers them to arrest without warrant if they reasonably suspect that somebody is committing a financial crime. Okay. But the proviso is that when such arrest is made, they must make sure that within 48 hours the person is charged to court. Then if they have to detain the person further, they will not need a warrant, a court order to further detain the person pending the completion of the investigation.
Retired Commodore Dakpa also condemned the murder of an EFCC operative in Anambra State.
The issue is that you now have to balance it. Financial crime, is not something tangible. If you're in your house, somebody just come because you see with laptop, does it just presume that you are committing a financial crime, or you see with many phones? Then that's okay, this is the type of phone Yahoo Boys need to carry. So does that imply you are committing a financial crime? Then no matter what happens in relation to the case in Anambra, you cannot also apply force. The best you can do is to follow the person to the station if he has identified himself as a law enforcement officer or a personnel of EFCC. I don't see any reason why somebody will resist arrest to the point of carrying a weapon or killing a person, even if you are licensed to keep a weapon.
The Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, says Joshua Ikechukwu, who shot and killed an operative of the EFCC, Aminu Salisu, during a raid on his residence in Awka, Anambra State, is not its member. Recall that Mr. Ikechukwu, who is said to be a medical doctor with the Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital, had mistaken the operative for a thief and shot him dead when the EFCC team invaded his residence. But in a chat with correspondent Kenechukwu Ofoma in Awka, the secretary of the Anambra chapter of the NMA, Dr. Obiaili Ifeanyi, said their findings show that the suspect is not a member of the association and does not work with the teaching hospital.
Because people call him Doc, that's how he started answering Doc. Calls were coming from the national, from friends of doctors and doctors alike. No. He's not a medical doctor. The NAIT leadership has actually come out to also refute the claim that he's not a medical doctor, not a staff, has nothing to do with NAIT. So it became incumbent on us as a body at the state level to also make our own inquiries and to put out the statements so as to put it to rest.
The Anambra State NMA secretary raised concerns over what it described as flagrant abuse of the title medical doctor by imposters and quacks. In other news, some residents of Port Harcourt have condemned the recent 50% increase in telecom tariffs. Speaking in an interview with our correspondent, the respondents said the hike will place additional financial burden on citizens. They said the rise in prices will force them to reduce their call time.
Actually, the rising cost of the tariff is really disheartening. Looking at the current situation of the economy, everything is going on the high side, and out of all things, the increasing tariff rather going to make it worse. For me personally, it's unfair. It's going to make me reduce my call rates.
It's just like every single thing is increasing in this country. The cost of living, the cost of every single thing, honestly, and I don't think it even makes any sense. It's crazy because from 50% now, they might increase it to 70% to 80%. Like, why? Why the increment? Now, if you recharge 100 naira, you cannot even call and talk as much as you used to like 3 or 4 years back. And now they've increased.
It is unacceptable. They should reduce it back to the normal.
The tariff increase means call 6 month price will climb from 30 naira to 15 naira per minute. The cost of sending an SMS will increase from 4 naira to 6 naira, and the price of 1 gigabyte of data will from 287.50 kobo to 431.25 kobo. The average cost of call will also increase significantly from 11 naira to 16 naira 50 kobo per minute. Some major streets in Dioba axis of Port Harcourt City local government area have been thrown into darkness following destruction of the transformers that supply the street's light. 2 of the residents from the affected streets told correspondent Soibi Uruari that the blackout has resulted in an increase in heat in the area. They appealed to the mayor of Port Harcourt City to intervene by replacing the transformers for the streets.
We, the people staying around here, we are so unfortunate that we wake up one morning and heard that they vandalized our transformer, and the people using it, we are really suffering for lights for some days now. We are not happy that the hoodlums came and did such a thing to us, and we've been suffering for light. And I don't know, we are begging the Sugar Mayor to come and help us, more especially the business people around here. We don't have lights. We suffer for heat a lot in this area. We, the people, stay in Ekulobia, Dim, Ubuago, and part of Obazolo. We are begging that you should come and help us too, please.
This is not heat period. We where they do business around the area. You go worry us. I dey beg am, make him still oil our mouth with this one. I dey beg where we dey beg am. Mayor, I beg.
Human rights activist Prince Wiro also spoke.
The transformer was vandalized by hoodlums, and as you know, this is a property serving the public. The law says that when it is an act of vandalism, it is not the duty of PHED to replace stolen something. The responsibility is on the community to make the provision to provide the stolen things. We condemn the act. It's act of sabotage, and we are saying that anybody that has useful information as regards to the people that perpetrated this act should quickly inform the police so that action can be taken.
Our correspondent reports that some of the streets affected at Dim, Ovim, Obuagu, Wokoma, Ojoto, Obiziolu streets. Now let's take a look at the international scene.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
At least 66 people have been killed in the fire that engulfed the popular Turkish ski resort hotel, leaving some to jump out of windows. Turkey's Interior Ministry said at least 2 people died after trying to jump to safety. It said 4 people have been arrested, including the owner. A quick recap on the news this evening. You heard Governor Fubara, FCT Minister, and some Ogoni leaders have met with President Tinubu behind closed door. The NNPCL said the Bukuma oil spill fire incident was caused by vandals. The Rivers State Chairman of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, Israel Waribo Pepple, has blamed his colleagues for the Bonny boat mishap. Port Harcourt residents have condemned the 50% increase in telecom tariff. On the foreign scene, fire has killed 66 persons in the Turkish ski resort. The news was edited by Kachi Nwosu. To reach the news teams and SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Kalada Kurubatibo. Good evening.